Okay.
All right, before we get going here, we have a couple things to tell our members. We're going to keep you posted on our planned 2-week challenge by email and on the calls. We're not going to be starting it next Tuesday night. We're going to be starting it within the next 2 weeks or so. So watch your email. As soon as we get everything all lined up for that, we're going to be starting our 1-month challenge. Robin, do you want to say anything about the 4-week challenge?
No, we'll keep you posted, and we'll be. Well, that's it. That's a yes. And so just watch this space. We're living in the house as we're building it here, which is sort of wild, but what the hell? Life is meant to be fun, right?
I love that, living in the house while you're building it. Boy, I know that so well. Okay, so then on our Tuesdays with Tarot call this week, it's an open call. We're going to be playing around with live video. Rachel will be joining us, and we're not sure if we can do the conference line at the same time that we do the live video. So once again, watch your email on Monday for details on that and where and how to join us on that call. Should be fun. Hopefully it'll be fun. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so hello and welcome to our Hangout on Air. I'm Mary Beth at the Law of Attraction Club on the web at theloaclub.com. We collaborate with Tarot, our friends, on these Hangouts, and this Hangout is a summary of our theme for the week and continues with Q&A on our member conference call. Our next open call is going to be this coming Tuesday. I believe that's October 11th at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. You can get invites to our open calls, which we offer about once a month, on our free letting go process by going to theloaclub.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and YouTube. So now we're going to welcome our friends Tarot and Robin. So over to you.
Welcome to something a little out of the ordinary. Over the last few weeks, we've been collaborating with these channels of ours and cooking up a 1-month program that we'll be launching shortly. We'll be inviting you to 4 weeks of living differently. You'll be engaging with us as we focus on some particular thing that you want to achieve. These 4 weeks will be all about the end result. And yes, of course, we'll still be coming from a place of knowing who you are and why you're here. Because if you don't know that, then all of this stuff about the law of attraction makes no sense at all. But our primary focus over this month will be the nuts and bolts, the mechanics of deliberately creating something new in your life. So will you join us? If yes, then we're going to ask you to do 3 things. 1, pick one thing you want to change. Not something 2 way out, but something in one area of your life you'd like to change. Then tell us about it. It doesn't have to be in detail, that's up to you, but it has to be clear to you. 2, then we want you to commit to an action plan. And of course, we don't mean action in a material sense. We mean action in the thinking sense. From the processes we suggest, or other processes, commit to a daily routine for 4 weeks. then tell us about it. And 3, as we go through the month, come to our calls. Check in on progress. Tell us what's working and what's not working, and we'll give you our perspective. And here's the ingredients we suggest you think about as part of this program. Firstly, there's our most recommended list of simple but powerful truths. It's a set of self-affirming statements that have proved to be really useful for many of you to bring to mind as you engage in your day-to-day world. Then we'll get into the processes we recommend. And of course, we invite you to contribute what seems to work best for you, because there is no one size fits all. You are uniquely you. And while you are all fundamentally and universally part of the collective consciousness of Source, each of you has your own particular and personal story. We will meet you where you are, and then we'll dance together. So, firstly, 10 things to remember and say to yourself. 1, I'm an always connected extension of Source. 2, it's my belief choices that create me and my worlds. 3, everything is what I choose it to be. 4, it's my thoughts that create, my actions are just a sideshow. 5, every time I choose a different thought, it makes a difference. 6, what I choose has nothing to do with what anybody else chooses. 7, when I'm feeling good, I'm heading towards what I want. 8, when I'm feeling bad, I'm heading away from what I want. 9, no choice is more worthy or divine than any other. 10, I have not missed the boat. The next one is always about to leave. Now, we could spend a week on each of these, but that is not our intent today. We'll be going into a little more detail here just to ensure that when you think of these, you'll really be understanding and reaffirming them as the simple facts of life, the facts of your life, and the life of every conscious entity that exists, including us. But if you are new to this community and you want some more explanation of any of these, we invite you to go back to some of our earlier conference calls where we go into all of these concepts at some length. So let's begin the 10. And as we go through these, we're going to repeat the summary lines. We encourage you to repeat these words out loud to yourself as an aid to memorizing them and internalizing them. These words can be lifelines for you. These thoughts can be refuges for you. These ideas can be the catalyst that helps your mind take off in a new direction. Are we ready? Here we go. Number 1, I'm an always connected extension of Source. And now we're you. I'm an always connected extension of Source. You are not, in any sort of fundamental sense, a physical space-time human being. That's just the story you've chosen. And this world of yours is just the stage you've created to play out that story of yours. Your world is not reality. It's a virtual reality. What you are is a consciousness. You are timeless and spaceless. You're a part of the collective consciousness of Source, of all that is. You are everything that Source is. You are the power of Source. You are the pure positive energy of Source. You are the connectedness of Source. And that connectedness is reality. And anytime you want to, you can feel yourself in the awareness of that reality. Number 2, it's my belief choices that create me and my worlds. And now with you, it's my belief choices that create me and my worlds. You came into existence as part of a desire for Source to experience itself in different realms. Your desires and choices created you by what you call law of attraction. Those choices created the virtual reality of the you now experience and the worlds that surround you. It's not one of many cosmic laws. It's the foundational principle by which all energy is organized in all realms, physical or non-physical. These physical and non-physical worlds are your context, and there's nothing fundamentally real or permanent about it. It's a moment-by-moment creation. It's your moment-by-moment creation. Number 3, everything is what I choose it to be. And again, everything is what I choose it to be. You cannot change who you are at your essence. And you cannot change the law of attraction. But apart from those 2 truths, there's nothing you cannot be, do, or have, and nothing you cannot change. To be non-physical as we are, or physical as you are, is a choice. Space and time are a choice. They are simply artifacts of your virtual reality. But let's bring it closer to your everyday existence. What shows up as the version of that person you're close to is what you choose it to be. That physical apparatus you think of as your body and what it will be tomorrow and next year and 20 years from now is yours to choose. Choice is your middle name. Number 4, it's my thoughts that create. My actions are just a sideshow. And again, it's my thoughts that create. My actions are just a sideshow. Since you're not fundamentally physical, and physical is just one facet of what you're creating, then can you see that it's not your actions that determine anything? If you choose to believe that action is necessary to bring about a certain result, then it will be. But it's not the action that brings the result, it's the belief about it. Of course, in a physical game, you're inevitably involved with physical action. But action without belief and alignment is hard work. It's struggle. And struggle is a choice you can make. But we say there's an easier path. Think your way into alignment. 5, every time I choose a different thought, it makes a difference. and again. Every time I choose a different thought, it makes a difference. Sometimes as you recognize an old belief choice is not serving you, it's like you throw a switch and the new belief clicks into place. But many times, particularly in the early stages of practicing deliberate creation, getting alignment within you at all levels for a new chosen belief can take a few iterations. But each of those iterations is truly significant. And here's what's important about that. If you allow yourself to be aware, if you will commit to start to look for change, you will see evidence of that change. So even if you don't get to absolute certainty with that new thought, allow yourself to be confident. It's huge. Number 6. What I choose has nothing to do with what anybody else chooses. And again, what I choose has nothing to do with what anybody else chooses. In Abraham words, if man understood that what I create has nothing to do with what anybody else is creating, then he wouldn't be so afraid of what others are doing. We know, if you've long practiced the idea that there's one world out there you're sharing with everybody else and you have to deal with it, then it takes a little time to get your mind around the fact that it's actually your unique moment-by-moment creation, that it's not out there at all, that it's like a movie playing in your mind. So take some time with this and sit with it. Just know that nobody and no entity can assert anything into your experience that's not a match to you. You create it all. Number 7. When I'm feeling good, I'm heading towards what I want. Again, when I'm feeling good, I'm heading towards what I want. Your feelings are more than just some unimportant internal emotional reaction. Your feelings are your creational GPS. If you're feeling good, you are at that very moment heading toward what you want. Your conscious thoughts and your subconscious thoughts are in agreement. And the connectedness that's you is strong and activated. And all the parts of you are singing in harmony. That's what feeling good is all about. Number 8. When I'm feeling bad, I'm heading away from what I want. Again, when I'm feeling bad, I'm heading away from what I want. Even though this is just the and vice versa part of number 7 above, we want to emphasize the point that nothing is more important than feeling good. Winning is unimportant unless it feels good. Being right is unimportant. Being sympathetic is unimportant. Pushing through this or that difficult thing as a prerequisite to getting to that better place is unimportant. If you're doing any of those things and not feeling good, then you are, at that very moment, heading away from where you want to be. We say stop and choose a better path. Nothing in any moment in time is ever more important than feeling good. Number 9. No choice is more worthy or divine than any other. Again, No choice is more worthy or divine than any other. There's nothing you have to do. There's nothing you're supposed to do. There's no purpose somebody sent you here to fulfill. You're not here to serve somebody else. You're not here to somehow get it right and work your way up some ladder to divinity. You're here where you are. And what you came here to do was to revel in the idea that you can create new things. You're here by choice in this delicious adventure called life on earth. So what do you want now? It doesn't matter whether it's solving a crossword puzzle or creating world peace. It's just, what do you want now? Number 10. I have not missed the boat. The next one is always about to leave. Again, I have not missed the boat. The next one is always about to leave. You can't miss the boat. In alternate versions of you, you're doing other things. You're doing everything. And you can step into those versions at any time. Your power is in the now. And so can you see it's never a question of, I would like to have done this or that with my life. All of that sort of thinking is based upon some idea of what a successful life should look like. And once you've grasped the ideas we've been talking about here, you move to the place that none of that old story matters at all. There's 1,000 boats about to leave, all of them to different joyous adventures. It's simply up to you to choose which one to step onto. So there's our top 10 things to remember. As you get into creating this new thing in your world, it can be extremely useful for you to know these truths. Each of them at different times can be a powerful thought to latch onto to help you pivot away from thoughts that don't feel good. Now let's look briefly at some of the processes we recommend, those we've talked about over recent months here. Letting go. This is a 5-step process you can use at any time, but it's especially useful for pivoting away from negative feelings. Most of you are already familiar with this one. About face. This is a 3-step process. You can use it any time. Good for creating more ongoing awareness of who you are. Would be, will be, is. This is a 3-step process for visualizing what you want. We'll be adding links to the Hangouts where we've gone into more detail on each of these, and you can use those recordings as a resource. As you start to use them, here are 2 things you'll discover. 1, they're all guides to imagining. Imagining new things about you and your worlds. Because imagination is the creative thought that leads you to change. And 2, although we describe them as discrete tools and specify the sequence, what you'll find is as you make them your own, you can drop into them in any place. You can reorder them. You can mix and match them. You can drop into the mix some of those top 10 truths we started with, those 10 truths to remember. In short, as you use them, they just become part of the fabric of who you are. So, we're really looking forward to some breakthroughs for you. We'll be starting our 4-week challenge shortly. And we encourage you to start thinking now about how you're going to take every advantage of this. Remember, we'll be asking you to do 3 things. Pick one thing you want to change, not something too way out, but something in one area of your life you'd like to change. Then tell us about it. It doesn't have to be in detail, that's up to you. But it has to be clear to you. 2, then you commit to an action plan. And of course, we don't mean action in a material sense. We mean action in the thinking sense. From the processes we suggest, or other processes, commit to a daily process for the 4 weeks. Then tell us about it. 3, we'll be having 3 calls a week as usual. And we encourage you to come to as many of those as you can and check in on progress. Tell us what's working and what's not working. And together we'll find the absolute best way for you to step into a new version of you and your world. And then, well, the better it gets, the better it gets. Let's have some fun. Let's have an adventure together. Let's dance.
This Hangout on Air was the summary of our theme for the week. We do 3 live calls a week with Q&A for our members on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. You can become a member by going to the loaclub.com/join. Our next open call is Tuesday, October 11th, 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.